Live from KSAT 12, the Nightbeat starts right now.
Conversations are starting about how money should be spent next year in the city's budget. So coming up tonight on the Nightbeat, we're walking you through two top priority items, homelessness and affordable housing, and how the city right now is planning to spend some of the grants it's received from the federal government and what nonprofits have to say about it all.
But first tonight, you know what we're going to start with, right? The weather. My friends, rain is on the way to the KSAT 12 viewing area. Meteorologist Adam Caskey joins us now with more.
Yeah, and Stephanie, we're not going to wake up to the rain tomorrow. Just a few stray sprinkles, very light showers, kind of like what we had earlier this morning. But the rain starts to move into the afternoon. That's when our rain chances really bump up, especially by 1, 2 o'clock, and especially at 3. We're at 70%, so widespread rain tomorrow afternoon through tomorrow evening. So it's the commute later in the day that could be problematic on the roadways in terms of areas of rain and the potential for some localized street flooding. But more than anything, we're just looking at some good, beneficial rain moving into our area. It's going to be coming onshore through the night and into tomorrow morning. Notice 6:15 a.m. It's still along the Texas coast. We're not going to wake up to much in terms of rain. And then once we get closer to the lunch hour, that's when the showers start to work in. And it's not going to be continuous. So don't expect just a continuous rain all afternoon and evening. It'll be intermittent rain with embedded downpours. So you see these little red and yellow areas indicating some of those tropical downpours embedded within those intermittent or periodic showers that'll be cycling through in the afternoon, in the evening, and even tomorrow night, which is a good thing because we don't want everything all at once. We know that leads to just more runoff and the potential for more flash flooding. Hail, not a threat here. Severe storms, highly unlikely. We just watch out for the potential of some localized flash flooding. Now, speaking of the potential flash flooding, that has to do with accumulations. They're going to vary significantly across our area. I'll get more into that and talk about what's causing all this in just a bit.
All right, Adam, thank you so much. Tonight, a 15-year-old boy is in custody accused of killing his own mother. Police showed up to that family's home on Delgado Street near Northwest 19th Street. That was around 2:30 this afternoon. And tonight, the night team's John Paul Barajas tells us that police are trying to figure out why.
It's sad for a 15-year-old, 14-year-old kid with a gun shooting his mom. Why do you want to shoot your mom?
But that's what San Antonio police say happened outside this West Side home. According to Police Chief William McManus, a 15-year-old boy shot his mother in the back of the head with a shotgun.
Can't imagine what may have prompted that.
The chief says the teenager was found at a home several doors down the street but was eventually arrested. Police say they have responded to the home where the mother was killed in the past, but not recently.
No calls to the house within the last several weeks.
Do we know what those other calls were?
One was for, neither was for a domestic-related event, my understanding right now. Again, this is all preliminary. We haven't had a lot of time to research all this.
Chief McManus didn't know if the teen has had a prior criminal history. As for his mother, she's only been identified as a woman in her mid to late 30s. John Paul Barajas, KSAT 12 News.
And now tonight we're getting a better look at a drug call that ended with 2 San Antonio police officers shooting a suspect who later died. Hours ago, SAPD released the body camera video from that incident, and before we go to it, it's hard to watch. So here we go. This happened on May 11th at an apartment complex at La Cantera Terrace. The video that you're looking at there is from our cameras that night, KSAT cameras, that is. Now, while officers were at the apartment for a narcotics call, SAPD says that officers were alerted about a stolen vehicle. So one officer parked his patrol vehicle behind the stolen car to keep it from leaving. And now we're going to show you the police body camera video, and I'll walk you through it. Now, you can see SAPD officers right there running towards that stolen vehicle. They ran past a woman and her dog, by the way, weren't involved in this. In the video, officers are heard calling out the suspect before he drives over a curb, through the median, in the direction of the police officers. And that's when you can see the officers fire several shots into the passenger side window. Now, we're told the suspect was hit once and that officers performed life-saving measures. After the suspect crashed into a pole, he was taken to the hospital where he later died. Now, the suspect who was shot was later identified as 21-year-old Angel Cuevas. SAPD tells us the two officers who fired their weapons are Officer Travis Maxwell and Officer Daniel Garcia, who had been with the department for 8 months. Now, neither of the officers or any bystanders were hurt in the shooting. The Bexar County District Attorney's Office is now reviewing that video to investigate.
Living in the United States all this time with this fear and uncertainty. We can fix that.
So tonight we're getting a better understanding as to how President Biden's new executive actions geared towards immigrants are going to work. If you remember, the move is aimed at keeping hundreds of thousands of people from being deported. He announced it earlier today. So here are the main takeaways. Under the action, undocumented spouses of U.S. citizens are allowed to stay in the U.S. and work while applying for residency. Basically, they'd be protected from deportation. But to qualify, they had to have lived here for 10 years and pass a background check. Now, this could affect about 500,000 people in the U.S., and a professor at St. Mary's University says that the action isn't necessarily an easy path to citizenship.
It's important to understand that this is not just some magic presidential declaration that suddenly converts a whole bunch of people into citizens. There's a whole process that is going to take years for people to go through in order to be vetted and have a determination made if they ultimately qualify under the laws that Congress passed.
So Governor Greg Abbott doesn't like the action, though. In a statement, the governor says in part, quote, President Biden's mass amnesty will be another magnet to attract migrants to flood across our border illegally. President Biden needs to stop rewriting immigration law and instead start enforcing it, end quote. The trial began today for the man accused of killing, mutilating, and burning his ex-girlfriend Marisol Klingelhofer in 2021. Today, witnesses to the murder took the stand. Ruben Augelo to recall the moments that he and Klingelhofer were sitting in a truck and saw Andres Stadnava come toward them with a gun.
I heard her say no, and then he shot her once, and she started yelling again, and he shot her a second time. I didn't hear no more voice of her.
Now, prosecutors are alleging that this is a case of retaliation. The defense, though, has yet to do an opening statement. During cross-examination, they tried to discredit both of the witnesses. Stadnava faces life in prison if he's found guilty. Now, the trial is going to be on recess tomorrow because of the Juneteenth holiday, but KSAT is going to be back at the courthouse on Thursday, live streaming this trial. You can watch it on all of KSAT's streaming platforms. How should the city of San Antonio spend its money next year? Now that city leaders are talking about the budget, there's a push to tackle two major and connected issues, and they are homelessness and affordable housing. Now, the nonprofit Close to Home says a little less than 3,400 people are experiencing homelessness across the city, and they know that because they counted them. The group says that from last year, the city's unsheltered population grew 1.6%, while the number of people in shelters is up 8%. Now, those increases explain why the group's leadership wants to focus on prevention.
Let's prevent this wherever possible so that we can keep things at a manageable level in our emergency services and be able to help everybody that's already fallen into homelessness.
City leaders seem to agree. And as the Night Team's Avery Everett explains, federal grants could also help.
How can San Antonio get more affordable housing and help the growing homeless population? It's the $1 million question. Well, actually, it's the $23 million question. The city is discussing how it's going to spend the $23 million of federal funding from 4 U.S. Department of Housing and Urban Development grants. Its proposal focuses on 2 key areas: housing rehabilitation and affordable housing development. First, let's talk about housing rehabilitation. The city wants to put more than $8 million of this funding toward major home repairs and reconstruction projects for low-income residents. Now, on the other side, affordable housing development is all about the city's growth. The city is proposing more than $10 million of this funding be used to create 700 new units of affordable housing. Now, remaining funds could be used for home buyer assistance programs, neighborhood revitalization, and community development projects. 2 of these 4 grants also specifically tackle housing opportunities for persons with AIDS and emergency solution grants to increase street outreach, emergency shelters, and rapid rehousing assistance. There's still a long timeline ahead before this action is actually approved. On KSAT.com, we have a list of the next couple of scheduled meetings so that you can share your opinion on how this HUD funding should be spent.
That's a good explainer there. Avery Everett now joins us now on the set. So, Avery, you've been talking to different homeless organizations. How do they think the money should be spent? Because they know the problem more than anybody.
Exactly, and that's why I went to them. I mean, homelessness and affordable housing go so hand in hand, and they're both very, very complicated. That's why we have to approach it from so many different angles. But groups like SAM Ministries say we should really use this funding to get to the root of the problem.
While there is a need to expand low barrier shelter, if we can help families and individuals remain stably housed, so through homeless prevention efforts, then we're far more effective.
Okay, but we have to go back to the budget because that's what's could tackle all of this. In the last budget cycle, the city planned to double the number of encampment sweeps, and it has been effective in doing that, right? The online portal today, which I know that you checked, shows that crews have done about 860 abatements since October of 2023. Their goal was 700 by the end of the fiscal year, so they're ahead of that. Yeah. How do those sweeps really play into that budget conversation, though?
Right, and sweeps are very controversial, but the city says that they're used for safety. And, you know, nonprofits aren't necessarily opposed to them, but they say it can't just be sweeps. There has to be more to addressing homelessness and affordable housing. You know, those sweeps weren't specifically mentioned today, but they definitely could come back in later budget discussions. We're just really at the start of this all. And that's why groups like Haven for Hope say humanity always has to be at the forefront of these discussions.
Homelessness can happen to anyone. It can happen to anyone at any time. We're all one emergency away from something like this happening in our lives.
So we have a list of resources for people facing homelessness on KSAT.com right now. Remember, this is just the start of these budget talks, and there's so many things out there available for you right now. If you do need support, those are all listed out on our website.
All right, Avery, thank you so much. Now, we want you to stick around because I have a question for you. Have you thought about the San Antonio missions? Could they actually leave San Antonio? Maybe. Today, the Bexar County Commissioner's Court took an important step to keep the team right here in town. Yeah, we'll explain to you what they did, what that means for you, up next on The Night. It's really hard to imagine the San Antonio missions taking the field in another city, right? But according to Bexar County Judge Peter Sakai, it's a possibility.
Major League Baseball has the authority to move the San Antonio missions. It is our understanding through the local ownership that without this letter, after August 1st, the San Antonio missions could be subject to removal process by Major League Baseball.
Okay, so hold on. That letter you just heard Judge Sakai talking about is one of the steps that he's taking to keep the missions right here in the Alamo City. Today, county commissioners authorized the county judge to create a letter of intent to show Major League Baseball that the county is working with the missions ownership group on a plan for a new stadium. So, okay, you're probably wondering, where would it be located? Well, the ownership group found an area along the San Pedro Creek near Fox Tech High School. The missions currently, by the way, play at Nelson Wolff Stadium. So we'll see. We are so relieved to tell you tonight that people in 3 apartment complexes do have running water again, and that is after SAWS received payments from their landlords. Tenants at the Westwood Plaza, Roselawn, and Serenity Townhomes all called KSAT saying that their taps were dry. SAWS also identified a 4th unnamed complex on West Magnolia Avenue as being cut off for past due bills. But just before 6 o'clock tonight, SAWS told us that they've received the payments and that the place on West Magnolia Avenue is the only place right now that doesn't have water service. By the way, SAWS says that all 4 of those complexes owed more than $250,000 together in water bills. Wow. Now, you don't want to be in this heat, although it's not as hot as it was last week. That water, yeah.
Oh, no, it's not. And especially it's nice because with the clouds and the rain on the way, we're going to have some noticeably cooler and lower temperatures compared to what we've been experiencing over weeks past. That's the nice thing about this pattern. Not only that, but of course, some much needed and beneficial rain is on the way. So let's get right to it with our potential rainfall going forward here. And this is a generalized look over the next few days. And here's what counts the most. Click less to the north, more to the south of San Antonio. Does that sum it up for you? Okay, we could be a little more specific than that. But generally speaking, north of Highway 90 and north of I-10, maybe up to 2 inches in the most fortunate neighborhoods. Locally, in and around Bexar County, San Antonio, 2 to 4, and that would really be stretching it, going up to 4 inches. That's if you get multiple tropical downpours that keep following each other. But what's more of a sure bet is this 4 to 7 inches farther south of town, from roughly Eagle Pass to Crystal City, Cotulla, Tilden, Los Angeles, Beeville, Goliad, Victoria. 4 to 7 inches, and that goes to the Gulf Coast, of course. So rule of thumb, lesser to the north, higher accumulations to the south. In San Antonio, we're right in the middle, right in between. So the Hurricane Center, of course, has been all hung up on this barely circulation, hardly anything in the Bay of Campeche. Worth watching, of course, don't get me wrong. But what's important to us really isn't even this. It's the activity that's between New Orleans and Cancun and over toward Cuba. This is the energy and the moisture, deep tropical moisture. We're talking from the ground all the way up 20, 30,000 feet. That with adequate energy is going to be moved in to give us our rain. Now we still have this potential tropical cyclone, as if all clusters of thunderstorms aren't potential tropical cyclones. It's their fancy way of saying, hey, we're not going to call it a tropical depression, but we also want to give it a name, but we can't quite do that yet, but we really want to. And even if it gets a name, ignore the headlines. It doesn't matter. Tropical Storm Alberto means nothing to us. We're talking winds of 45 miles per hour with that system. That's the forecast with it, assuming it even becomes tropical storm strength. It's going to have the same impact for us, and that's rain. Look at the computer plots, keeps it far south of Brownsville and parts of East Texas, causing little to no damage. It's a rain event, really. Now, we will have an onshore flow of winds that'll be gusting up to 40 to maybe even 50 miles per hour. And that could give us a 1 to 3 foot storm surge, or basically think of it as water levels a couple feet above normal tide during the day tomorrow and even on into early Thursday. So by and large, we'll be okay along the coastline. It's going to be not exactly ideal beach weather. And here's our future cast for the wind speed. Notice that onshore flow, Corpus Christi, a sustained wind tomorrow of about 33 miles per hour. And again, some higher gusts. That just gives you an idea of what the winds will be like with that onshore flow just for a day and a half before it starts to really simmer down. Actually, we have some video from Matagorda Beach, I believe, earlier today. And you see the dark clouds out there. A little bit of water. This can just be from the onshore flow, that water on the street, and high tide. Onshore flow, high tide pushes that water up sometimes into the streets, and of course the rough waves out there, and that's to be expected. Even if you have a system anywhere nearby in the Gulf, it's going to churn up the waves and cause some rip currents. Now here's one benefit, and we touched on this earlier with Stefania. 82 the high tomorrow. 86 on Thursday, then it's sunny back into the 90s as we get into the upcoming weekend. So I want to remind everybody, not continuous rain tomorrow. We're not going to wake up to it. But by the afternoon, evening, and night, passing showers, embedded downpours, and it really depends on where those downpours hit. That'll dictate who gets those really higher amounts and who gets the lesser amounts. So have your rain gauges ready to go and upload your photos to KSAT Connect. And here's a live look outside. We've had some clouds overhead, but not a whole lot. They'll, of course, be filling in overnight, and we'll just be waiting on a nice little pitter patter on the roads, just watching out for the potential of localized street flooding, especially in the construction zones.
Yes.
And where drainage is poor or clogged.
Yeah, that's right, because that's where you get the most mess. That's why they tell you don't litter.
Yes, that too.
All right. Well, one thing that I loved about the forecast is also that it doesn't have any triple-digit heat. I love that, but not as much as Derek White is loving his head coach.
Absolutely. So when the Spurs traded him to Boston about 2.5 seasons ago, Derek White was coming off the bench. So then they brought in Coach Mazzulla. Well, he started Derek White again, and you know what? Because of that, White loves his head coach for more reasons just that. And Team USA, how about this? They rolled at the U18 Women's America Cup with an 80-point victory coming up.
You got some loose teeth, you got a chip tube. This cost you. Why was it all worth it?
Man, this is what we work for. I mean, I'll lose all my teeth for a championship, and so I'll get it fixed, and I'm going to enjoy this one.
Derek White has a championship tooth in big board sports. Boston Celtics star Derek White got 2 chips last night, the NBA championship and a chipped front tooth. Now, he suffered the injury late in the second quarter while diving for the ball. He did a face plant, sacrificing his grill for the team, and yet he played on. Now, Spurs fans know how tough he is because we saw it firsthand after he was drafted by the Spurs in 2017. He's always putting his body on the line when playing ball.
And I knew right away. I've chipped it in the past, and so it's not new, but this tooth's loose. The other 2 tooths are wiggling, but they were trying stuff in the locker room. I was like, I don't care, just play.
The Spurs traded Derek to Boston 2.5 seasons ago, and he has nothing but love for his head coach, Joe Mazzulla, who turned the C's back into champs.
Man, I love Joe Mazzulla so much. Coming off the year that I had, and then he gets the job, and he's like, you know what, I'm going to start you, which I wasn't expecting, and he's like, I just believe in you and I trust in you. This is just going to give you the confidence, and from that moment on, I think it's changed my whole career.
And kudos to 17-year NBA vet Al Horford. He needed 186 career playoff games before winning the NBA championship, the most in NBA history. At the FIBA U18 Women's America Cup in Colombia, Team USA hammered Puerto Rico to secure its largest margin of victory since 2008. Clark Cougars great Ariana Robertson scored 10 points in 14 minutes off the bench. She shot 4 for 7 from the floor and had 7 rebounds, 1 assist, 2 steals, and 1 block shot. Joyce Edwards led the Americans with 16 points. Team USA scored the game's first 16, and they cruised 102-22, improving the 2-0 in Group B. They will play Mexico tomorrow in their final group phase contest. Rangers' Josh Young starts his rehab assignment after the break.
Scoring from third is Watley, and Josh Young will drive in a run.
Texas Rangers all-star third baseman Josh Young started his rehab assignment Sunday at AAA Round Rock Express, and he went 2 for 3 with an RBI single in his rehab debut. On April 1st, Young suffered a fractured wrist following a hit by a pitch in the 4th game of the Rangers season, and he's been out since. Josh and the Express started a 6-game series at the Sacramento River Cats tonight. And in Texas League play tonight, at last check, the Missions are losing at the Sod Poodles 13-4 in the bottom of the 8th inning. Baseball great Willie Mays passed away today at the age of 93. The Giants and Mays family jointly announced his death. The Say Hey Kid was one of the game's greatest and most beloved players. His over-the-shoulder catch of a long drive in the 1954 World Series is baseball's most celebrated defensive feat. He had been baseball's oldest living Hall of Famer. We'll be right back after the break.
I do want to point out Thursday, we'll still have some scattered activity, and especially it's going to be some of these tropical downpours with sunshine in between. Good rainbow making weather, by the way, especially in the evening. So we'll have some more on top of it to add up a little bit on Thursday. Then Friday into the weekend, generally dry, back into the 90s for highs. The average high is 93. We'll be there on Saturday.
All right. Thank you so much. Thank you for staying up with us tonight. Have a wonderful night. See you tomorrow.